If your Xero reports no longer match what you already finalized and possibly lodged to the authorities, it is not because of the journals, the complex errors, or reconciliation. It is usually because past periods were allowed to change after the reports were finalized. And that's exactly what this rarely used setting in Xero is designed to prevent. A log date in Xero is a clear boundary. It tells Xero that everything up to a certain date is finished and should not be touched. Once a log date is set, users cannot add, edit, or approve transactions dated on or before that date. Log dates in Xero serve a super important purpose. They protect completed periods from accidental backdating. And when I say accidental, I really mean accidental. For example, just mistyping the issue date on a supplier invoice and posting it back into last year, resulting in changing profit, tax deductions, and GST figure. So log dates ensure that everybody is working from the same numbers. That gives you, and of course your tax accountant, confidence that completed work will not quietly shift later. Using log dates consistently is one of the clearest signs of a well-managed Xero file. Now, an important detail is that only users with the advisor role can set or change log dates. This is deliberate because it prevents past periods from being unlocked without proper oversight. In fact, setting a log date in Xero is rather quick. Let's do it. Go to Settings, Financial Settings, and then scroll down to Log Dates. Here you will see two options. You can choose to log the file for all users except advisors, or absolutely everyone including advisors. Then enter or pick the date you want to log the file up to, for example 30th of June. I generally advise setting both log dates to the same date to fully protect the file. However, there can be some instances where it makes sense to set different log dates for standard users and advisors. Click Save and that's done. It was super easy and it only took 5 seconds. From that moment on, Xero enforces the log automatically. If someone tries to add or edit a transaction in a locked period, Xero will stop them and show an error message stating that the accounts are logged. And what's also important to know that Xero treats apps like Hubdog, Dex, Scene7 or Stripe as normal users in Xero. So if a period is logged, those apps are also blocked and cannot send data into Xero for that period. So when should you lock your Xero file? A practical benchmark that I use is to log any period once you have finalized the transactions for that period. If you are doing regular bookkeeping, once you finish 1 month, just lock it. When you finish the next month, move the log date forward. After lodging a BAS or your sales tax report or any tax filing, log your Xero file up to the end of that period so you don't accidentally change what you have already reported. And thirdly, at year-end, once your accounts are finalized and your tax return is lodged, log the file to 30th of June or whatever your financial year-end is and leave it there. Never backdate a transaction to that period, ever. This is the single most important rule to remember. If a tax return or a financial statements have been officially filed with the authorities, do not unlock that period. And one useful tip to finish. An advisor user, of course, can change the log date and unlock prior periods. When this is done, it's a good practice to add a note explaining why the unlocking was necessary and what changes were made. You don't need to write too much, just enough to remind yourself or anyone else reviewing the file later what was done and why. And if you ever need to check who changed the log date and when, just go back to Financial Settings and review this History and Notes section at the bottom. This provides you with a full audit trail. So to sum up, as you can see, log dates are not about restrictions. They do protect lodged best periods, finalized financial years, and tax returns from accidental changes. They are about clarity, control, and ultimately trust in your numbers. So set them and use them, and let finished periods stay finished. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. See you next time!